Wait, I'm not even muted. What the fuck?
Let us know if you guys can hear us. Apparently, the sound wasn't on. Did you guys hear the music?
Yeah, I was checking out.
I heard the music.
I did too. Let me know if you guys can hear us in the live chat.
We're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Give us a share if you can't. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. We're gonna do something different, back to our roots, so to speak. Talk a little bit of conspiracies and paranormal. But before we get into it, Big Blue, you were at Sausage Fest this week. How was that?
It was Wars Fest. Wars Fest.
It was tiring, he said.
Yeah, it was tiring. Everybody was walking around with a sausage in their hand or a schnitzel, and for me, was only walking around with a picture of Shiner Oktoberfest. It was nice, man. It was nice. It was a nice fresh night, but it's a lot of walking, and then a little pricier than for most people. Are like, hey, everybody was in line. Like, I'll wait 20 minutes for a beer, and it's $32 for a pitcher.
Dang.
So, yeah, but it's not too bad. The pitcher lasted a while.
So you're trying to say that you went to Wurstfest and you didn't have one sausage?
No, I had a schnitzel.
Oh, yeah, the schnitzel. How was that?
It was good. I had the chicken schnitzel. So it was just some battered chicken on a stick.
Nice. I had no idea what it was. I mean, how was your weekend, my man?
It was good, man. It was pretty good. Nothing crazy happened. I mean, at least not yet. Right? Monday's post weekend. That's why.
Got you. I take it you're drinking tonight. What are you having?
I'm drinking. What am I drinking? Oh, all smoky. Yeah.
Ooh.
With
What
some
kind?
Dr. Pepper caramel. The salty caramel. Yeah.
Nice. I've been drinking for a little bit. The wife, she tricked me. She made my drinks prematurely, and I didn't want the ice to melt. So I've been drinking for the last 30-35 minutes already. So I'm feeling pretty good. Want to thank everybody here. So Big Blue, how long were you out there for, my man?
I would say a good 3 or 4 hours.
Dang.
4 hours.
Did you get any drinking contests?
I wish, man. I wish. It was good though, man. Like the music was good. They had some cover bands, and they had all kinds of food. You know what I mean? They had pork chop on a stick, sausage on a stick. Some reason they like everything on a stick, but and they did have sauerkraut and bratwurst and some good food.
Cool.
Now, one thing that Hyman's not telling everybody is he was out and about this weekend as well, and he was caught on screen or on camera.
Oh yeah.
You didn't tell us that you were out at the Philadelphia game on the sideline too.
Yeah, I didn't want people to know that I'm a big Eagles fan.
So what's up with the underwear?
You know, those are my last underwear of the week. Like when I run out of underwear, when it's there, you know, I haven't washed. That's the one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's the one you wear. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the no sock shoes. I mean, we
Thank
never
you.
see what you're wearing, you know, because every time we see it, it's from the chest up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Is
I'm
this
just
one
wearing
big?
a shirt. Nothing underneath.
Just
Nothing
one of
from here
those long
down.
ones.
Not even. It's like where it's crop top.
It's the Ezekiel Elliott shirt.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, better luck next time, my man. I just wanted to say, you know, we hope you're a little bit more graceful next time.
I'll work on it.
And I've been to Sheboygan before, but I've never been to the brat days. But I do believe the bratwurst was way better in Wisconsin. I've been to Wisconsin a lot.
So wait, how do you know if you didn't try it, or did you
Because
lie to us?
no, I didn't try the bratwurst at there, but I tried bratwurst from the German meat market in New Braunfels, and
Okay.
I've had meat. I gone to the German place here in San Antonio, and I like the German food in Wisconsin a little bit better.
Good deal. Good deal. So today we're going to be talking about some conspiracies, some abnormalities, some normalities that are abnormal, and the paranormal. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about first? Which, you know what? I'll bring up the first one. So, are you guys familiar with the airline that I think it was a Malaysian air Boeing craft that disappeared a couple years ago?
Yes, sir.
Remember that? Remember that, Big Blue? You familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
All right, so this has been released, and supposedly there's been some, I guess, theory here that this is that aircraft, and that it was being followed by top secret Air Force or military type craft that had this camera pointed at the direction of that plane, and there's three what look like orbs begin to circle around said airplane, and then boom.
Interesting. It's like those like sonic rings.
Yeah, like what's that, Blue?
I said I've never seen this video before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, there's this whole like Twitter ordeal going on where people are trying to figure out whether this is real, if this is that airline, if this is a different airline. But you'll see like right there, you'll see these trails behind the spheres as they circle around it. Jaime, have you ever been on a plane?
Oh yeah. I have.
All right, so let's play. I want to see what
That was
you would
it.
do in a situation like this, right? So let's pretend you've been on a plane, or you're on a plane now, right? I want you to close your eyes. Tell me when they're closed, because you're real small and I can't see.
All right, okay, they're closed now.
All right, you're sitting on a plane, right? You got the window aisle. You have your neck roll on. You have your little highlighter or highlight magazine and some graham crackers, and you look out the window and you see this orb circling around. What are you gonna do? Do you just take pictures of it? Do you alert some people? What do you do?
I would be like, "Hey, dude, check this out." You know,
Dude.
because right before I go on an airplane, I'll be all drugged up. You know what I mean? So anxiety won't kill me first. But I'll be like, "Hey, dude, is it the drugs? It's just like making me see this thing?"
Imagine you've seen this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get on a plane. Like the next time you get on a plane, and you can open your eyes already. I don't know if they're still closed.
Thank you.
But next time you're on a plane and all of a sudden somebody gives you one of those, you know, highlight magazines, you go freak out.
But I wonder what, I mean, those crafts, man, they're pretty quick to be able to circle that fast around that plane, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let me pull up let me see if I can find it. This image right here so you can see just the plane. Now, I sent this to my friend who was in the military, had some top security clearance, and he was looking at it, and he had some skepticism to it. Oh man, it's loading. There it goes. But not. He was like, it was interesting. Is what he said.
Yeah, those look pretty trippy with the trail.
It looks like they're orbiting the craft.
Yeah, but they are leaving trails from like an exhaust system. It's gotta be.
They're trying to open the portal.
Now that looks like there's windows alongside that plane. And gone.
I don't know. The last part kind of looked kind of gimmicky. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. Is this right after takeoff or like?
I don't know. This is after takeoff.
I
don't think so.
Because it's still.
Because I think it disappeared over the ocean.
Yeah.
The thing is, it just vanished, kind of similar to what this. I mean, obviously, it could have crashed, right? And that would have been a reason why it vanished off the screen. But this could be another reason. Do you think it was destroyed, or do you think it was teleported?
Oh man, I wish it was teleported. I mean, I'm hoping it was, but
yeah,
everything points to shut down.
Yeah, at the end you just see that big boom, man. So if it is something, it looks like it got blown up at the end.
Imagine it. Well, it looks more like a possible wormhole, right? Let's just say that this is real. I'm not saying that it is, but let's just say that it is, right? How would you feel you're on this plane? All of a sudden you're in some other world. Like you just got teleported.
Right? But like, dude, I just paid my Netflix, bro. Come on. I just resubscribed. What a waste.
Man, you were left on a cliffhanger on a show, and it was the first episode.
Damn
it, to expose it. You never know the truth.
I was all mad because he was waiting for the peanuts, and when the stewardess hadn't came in.
That is weird that it is starting to leave like a trail, like you said there, Big Blue.
Yeah, you see those trails behind it? Like, it had to be something that's propelled.
Yeah, they're moving hella fast too.
Yeah, they would have to be. I mean, what do you think a pilot can do in that situation? Like, just it's got to fly.
With a plane that big, they can't do much but just keep going. To me, I'm not sure if you ever seen the rockets when they're chasing. Like the other day, they had some really awesome videos. They weren't awesome because, of course, people passed away, but there were some nice videos when they were shooting down the planes that were attacking Ukraine. I mean, you see those guys, the fighter jets, doing all their maneuvers to get out away from those, and there was a lot of. I guess bombs going off here and there.
Are you talking about the Ghost of Kiev?
No, there was a video the other day recently released.
The other day.
Was recently released probably about a month ago, and there were some jets, trying to bomb Ukraine, and then they were like shooting rockets at them, and you just see the pilots just maneuvering out of the way and stuff. And the jets would do, the rockets would do that. You see the rockets going behind the planes, and these jets are doing spins. But a plane that big can't do nothing.
Yeah.
All it can do is up and down and maybe a half turn.
Yeah. The only way they could have done anything if it was Dom Toretto wasn't there. Family.
Man.
It would throw a Pepsi can at it and it would have blown up something.
Maybe, but dude, this is I don't know, man. I had to get on a plane recently, and I had seen this video before I got on the plane, and I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I should still continue this plane ride after this, but
eject to see, cuz.
Right. It's just weird. I don't know. It could be fake, and it probably is. I hope it is. Because if not, that's pretty crazy. Like this black and white one. I'm going to watch that one now. They're just spinning really fast around it.
What if you're on the plane and the movie of the night is Snake on the Plains?
Are they allowed snakes on the plane?
Snakes on the Plane is a movie.
No, I know. You see, on this black and white one, it appears to me that it looks like a little explosion. Watch towards the end. So it's cruising. You just check out the black and white one. That's kind of a. What do you think? What kind of maneuver was that? Because it looked kind of like it was doing something. The plane.
Yeah, it looks like it's turning around, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought your cursor was another one. I was like, what the hell?
Oh no, that's not mine.
Damn, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
So you could,
Watch.
even
Look,
if
it's
it
about
was
to
like,
disappear.
even if it's like 3 fighter jets doing that maneuver, they have to be real good to be able to not hit each other at that speed.
Nah, man, there's no way. That's too close of a. There's not enough space for them to do that maneuver.
Yeah.
What's it called? But I remember hearing about a story about a pilot that made a. I'm not really sure where the location was at from where he was going to, from where he took off from and landed. But I know they lost contact with him, and the trip was supposed to be like 4 or 5 hours long, and he made it to that location within 2 hours, and
Oh, wow.
they didn't know how he got there in like how he got there in such little time. And so like there was like this missing time, and all of a sudden he was already there in location with enough fuel.
Oh boy, makes a good point on this. That the clouds are stationary. Let me see. Keep an eye on those clouds. Do you see the flash on them? Like a reflection of the light on the clouds? I mean, I don't know if that's easy or hard to do. It's probably easy. I'm not a CGI guy. I thought the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 1 were real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched that movie, and it's like horrible CGI now.
I know, right? Dude, do you think it's because of the quality of the TVs nowadays? Because
Yes.
like I'll look at movies or whatever, and they'll show what our movies that we used to watch from back in the days, and I don't remember it looking that fake.
No, they were like back then. It was like high tech stuff, man. It was like it was the thing, man. It was like, damn, Jurassic, but there's real dinosaurs. What?
Yeah, but
now it looks like the dude in the freaking costume. Even though it's
CGI
not,
is all bad, and the light shadings on the wrong side. But it just like there was some movies. I think I was watching freaking Power Rangers, the movie from like 2001 or something like that. Do you remember that movie?
With Ivan News?
Yeah, that guy.
That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, I think that was the only one that they made. Well, anyways, it was on the tube the other day, and I put it on, and I was like, man, this looks super fake.
Well,
super fake.
Let's be honest, man. They never really looked good even from the beginning at that time.
I know, but it didn't look this fake. This looked like something that I could do on my computer with my like clip art images. That 3D motion.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so hard nowadays to like.
But with this video, one part has to be real. All right.
Jesus.
The plane flying might be real, but the stuff going around it might not be.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
You started yelling?
Yeah, you started yelling, dude. We're the ones drinking.
It's my mic. Yeah, no, I'm not even drinking tonight. I have to work.
We're here all,
Yeah.
politely having a conversation, and then Blue started yelling at us.
Yeah, they do. What's it called? Yeah, probably the plane is real, and they just superimpose the other one, the orbs. But it's pretty cool. I like it. It looks pretty legit. I think it will look more legit if they didn't have that. Like if it's fake, if they didn't have that. I guess that flash at the end,
Yeah.
or at least make the some of the clouds like kind of look like they dispersed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it look really legit.
I just remember the Pink Ranger. Don't judge me. Blue remembers the blue one. It's shocking what they can do with CGI today. Never know what you to believe. That's true, man. Those deep fakes. Have you seen how crazy they've gotten?
Yeah.
Like, I swear. I mean,
It's easier and easier. Like with time, it's easier. Like back then, it was like, oh, you had to have a real big studio to make a deep fake. And now you can do it with your phone.
right. And you can blame anything on it too. Like, for instance, if you ever do anything wrong, just say, when they capture on camera, it's a deep fake.
Yeah. There's like that one I sent earlier from Tickety Talk on there. We'll see if we can see it later. But there's looks like a ghost coming at him, like in a picture. It's pretty cool.
In a picture of what? You sent it through the messenger?
Messenger.
I'll look at it in a second. This is, I don't know, some sort of black and white image. Wrong way. That's their thumbnail. There it is. So these are the two that somebody pulled up. I found these on Twitter. I don't think they look anything special.
No, not really. I'm gonna send you a couple of pictures real quick.
Oh, are they like the ones you sent earlier that we're gonna show?
No, this is a picture that I saw and I thought it was pretty creepy, right? And I just wanted to see what y'all's what y'all think about it. So I sent you 3 pictures. One of them is the first one's the one that I want. That's the first one. I don't know. The one without the circle. Don't worry about that one. Okay, I guess I sent you one by accident. But
the one with the circle, don't worry about.
Yeah, because show the other one so you can tell the difference from one picture to the other.
All right, hold on. I'll download it first. One.
Yeah, I totally forgot to send you that before the show started. I'm sorry.
And 2. It's all good. It's all good. And what are we going to be?
Like I said, something's in there. It's got to be real. To me, the video of the plane is real. The orbs going around it for a while looks real because of the. It's really going to be really hard to CGI the smoke coming out of the exhaust from there. But then when the part that looks fake is when it disappears. I mean, when something explodes, it's got to be a bigger boom, and there's nothing after that to show like debris or anything.
But then again, that's with what do you call it? Technology that we're aware of. I mean, if this is some sort of alien technology from another planet, I mean, it may not be exploding it. It could be creating a wormhole and taking it to its planet. Yeah. I mean, which would be pretty effed up. You know what I'm saying? Like being taken to their planet against your will. And you think they would at least ask.
Sign this permission slip, please.
No consent. What is this, a magic school bus?
Let your family know, man. You're gonna be gone for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to go. If an alien popped up right there and said, "Hey, we're gonna take you, unless you don't want to go," would any of you consider going?
I think it'd be like, "Oh, you saw me. You're going now."
I'll have to make a deal. Be like, I'll go for a little bit, and I have to come back, bro. I got work tomorrow.
They're like, yeah, sure. You'll be there for a day, and we'll bring you back. And then you go,
it's like
and then
5
you come
years.
back. It's like 20 years.
20 years later.
The speed in which it took you from get to one spot to the other spot, and time dilation screwed you up.
It's like, dude, you aged very well. Thank you.
It's like that. Have you seen that movie Forever Young with Mel Gibson?
I believe so. That was back in the 90s, right?
Dude, back in the day, man. That was when I started thinking about time travel. I was forced to watch it.
No, I thought you were gonna say that's when you were thinking about Mel Gibson.
Oh no, not then. But when that movie came out, that's when that's one of the movies that sparked my interest, like in science and shit like that. I was like, man, I wonder if that's possible that you can freeze somebody and then bring them back sometime in the future, and when technology is, much more developed than what it is now, and see something that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. But the downside to it is everybody you know and love would be gone. You know what I mean? Did you consider doing that?
Like Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and
dude.
And Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I'll totally be Wesley Snipes though. Totally.
Blew your weight. He was hiding behind the comment.
No. I'm looking for a video that I saw earlier today. I'm not sure if y'all sent it to me. It was like Congresswoman talking about the sun. Did you see it?
No.
I have to find it. I can't remember.
Hey, so I mean, you sent me this. Is this is this off an island somewhere, or what's going on here?
I knew you were gonna say that. I was about to say that. It's like, this is the Epstein's. Just so you're not. No, so apparently this family, right? This group of friends took a picture, and they took two pictures. They took this one, and then they took the other one. But in the second one, there was another person in the picture that wasn't supposed to be in there, and you could tell right away where it's.
This thing looks like a cardboard, looks like a cardboard cutout of a person just kind of superimposed over the.
It looks creepy though, right?
It does look weird, but it looks flat. You
know
what I'm saying? Like, there's no dimension to it. It looks like a cardboard cutout. What do you think, Billy? Are you terrified yet?
I mean, the face is more blurred than the other ones. That's why. It's like, I don't know.
So it doesn't appear that it's like transparent. Do you think it's transparent?
I think it's like where it's at. They look at the shoulders and where it's at. Like, that makes no sense, right?
Nah, it doesn't. It seems like it's coming out of the chair.
Yeah, or the table.
Or the table, yeah.
Yeah. So once you put the other photo up, you can tell right away there's nobody there, or anybody with that kind of. You know what I mean?
Somebody said it's a double exposure from,
It could be, but it's just it looks super creepy though, right?
I mean, look what's going on with Grandma in the back over here. There's like a ghost face right behind it. You see that? You got the eyes, the nose. This looks like maybe perhaps one of the Gorillas. You remember that band, the Gorillas, Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
The cartoon band, that looks like one of those guys.
Oh yeah, right. Like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And then at the corner of the table, you see something too. At the corner of the bottom of the table, like
this corner.
Right? No, the other corner. See right there, go down under the beer mugs. Right there, you see something.
Dude, what are you trying to make us look at, Blue?
Not that corner, the one right there, right in the middle. You see something.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see. That was on the other one.
I don't trust Blue, man. I don't.
Nah.
I really don't.
But why does it look so different in the background? Like, it almost looks like two different places. It isn't. You can see is it like filtered or something?
I have no idea. I remember I just saw the story and it was like that supposedly they took two pictures, one with light and one without it.
I think that there was a few drinks in between these two, because right here, like, these guys look like they're all right. Their beers are kind of halfway there. They're cheery.
Yeah.
And then
the airplane.
And then boom. Their hair is kind of sticking out. They both have red faces. This dude's shirt's about to come off. So,
It looks like Mr. Presco.
true story. People are gonna look that person up now.
It's okay. Honestly, I don't even know if he's alive.
I wouldn't know either, my man. So yeah, Blue, that object that you said that was at the corner here. There you go. That object that you said that was at the corner here, it is not there on this image. Good catch. I wonder what that is.
Mhm. I just saw the picture. I was like, well, I saw the person who posted it up, and it's like he was talking about how that person or the figure that's in the middle wasn't there in the other one.
It's weird.
Yeah, I just thought it was super creepy.
It is pretty crazy, man. Big Blue, what are you doing over there? You're being mischievous.
I was looking for a video. I can't find it, but it was one of the senators. I can't remember what state she was from, but she was talking about how that I think it's a spoof, but she was talking about how that we need to investigate the real cause of global warming, so that she needs to talk to Elon Musk because he's obsessed with her, and that he can send a rocket to the sun so he can collect samples of the sun because that's a real cause of global warming. But in her theory, she says that we need to leave at night because that's when the sun's not as strong. So I thought it was hilarious. It don't matter what type of day, the sun's the same damn temperature.
I mean, yeah. I'm not sure where you were going with that. Let's see. I have a great ghost picture from a haunted hotel I stayed at. The video of pounding on the walls. I need to email you. Yeah, email us. Let me put the email out there real quick. That's the wrong one. There it is. Oh, I pressed the button. Let's see how long it'll take before it shows up. That's what took so long for the intro to turn on. I hit to play it, and it just wouldn't play. And then all of a sudden, it just went on its own. Big Blue, if you have the ability to put up the never mind, it just went on its own. Yeah, email us drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com and let us know in the comment section once you have, and then I'll pick it up. Let me see. So Blue, you work in a medical facility. Have you ever seen anything that you can't explain? Like seen anything? I know you said you've heard some yells and things of that nature. You've had like things fall, but have you ever seen anything like an apparition, a ghostly spirit, something transparent?
No, like I said, I've never seen anything, but you feel sometimes like there's a presence, somebody watching you, or because like I said, when I go do work at this other clinic, I do X-rays there, and I've been sometimes shooting an X-ray, and then the door sometimes automatically opens up behind me, and then I check real quick because I'm like right next to the door and there's nobody there. And it's happened a few times, and I asked other people, and they're like, "Yeah, sometimes that door does open on you, and it's like random because you can be doing 50 X-rays at night, and then just all of a sudden, boom, the door opens up on you." It's pretty crazy.
Dude, the other day, so I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but like I've had a couple of people stay over, and they said they've heard knocks, right? And the other day, me and the wife were in the kitchen, and I heard, and I said, "What?" So I went out there, right? Because my buddy Daniel T, he stayed here, and he had heard the knocks right from inside the house. But what I thought it was is I had a wooden sign on my front door, and I thought the wind had blown it and made the knocking noise, right? And this time I heard it, and now we don't have that wooden sign outside, so it's not that. And it didn't sound like it came from outside to begin with. It sounded like it came like somebody knocked on the closet door inside, where you walk into the, walk into the house. And then I want to say maybe Friday night, once I finished, it may have been Friday night. Yeah. Once we finished the show. I went to the kitchen. I could have sworn I saw like a shadow person in the kitchen, man. Just kind of standing there. And then it kind of just disappeared. It was crazy.
Dude, I've seen plenty of shadow or apparitions and stuff like that. I mean, even here at the apartment where I currently live, like it's nothing has happened here inside my apartment, but our neighbors have like the walls are pretty thin, right, between us and the neighbors. So like sometimes they're not home and you can hear all this commotion going on the other side. And it's like, that's weird. Like you can hear the like water running, you know what I mean? When I'm like they're not even there. Especially one time when I heard like footsteps going up the staircase on their side, and I had just seen them like leave. I walked in while they were going out and taking off, so it was kind of weird to just open my door, and then you could hear their footsteps going up their staircase. It's pretty weird. There's like stuff like that happens like that to me all the time, especially my mom's. My mom's house is like super creepy and haunted.
Dude, there's a lot of houses out there in that area that are haunted that I've heard. Freckle Joy says, I'm a paramedic. This tweaked chick sat up on my gurney and contorted her body all weird, and her face did this weird quiver, and she started to speak in tongues. It scared me. She was for sure a demon. Yeah, it sounds like it. If you guys didn't know, Blue is a professional exorcismist, and he'll be able to help you.
I'm not really sure if that's a word, exorcismist.
I tell you, they find me sometimes. I tell you what, yeah, I sent y'all the video, but I was pumping gas a couple weeks ago. And it was like 4 a.m, and this lady was saying that she was Jesus and she was here to save everybody. And then she got mad at the 7-Eleven employees and started throwing stuff at the window. Started stripping down. Like, man, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's a crazy atmosphere down there. Let me see real quick. I think Danny cut off. But...
Yeah, I kicked him out. I was like, man, you know what, man? Get out of here. No, but I sent Danny I sent Danny a video. And I also sent him a picture that I promised a couple of the people on the chat that I was going to show, or that Danny was going to show. But like recently, the most recent thing, usually, whenever, I mean, obviously everybody fights, right, in relationships, but I tend to believe that whenever there's that bad energy in a room, it kind of like makes, things happen, like the energy is like kind of like makes things happen. Like last time I was having a couple of years back, I was having a real bad fight with my ex-wife, and what's it called? I was outside, and when you talk and you like pace with the phone, well, we were having one of those fights, one of those good old fights, and every time I would pace back, it was at my mom's house. I was paced back. It was probably like 10:30 at night. So like the backyard's pretty dark and there's no light out there. And all I could see was like what looked like a telephone pole, right? And I was pacing back and forth, and every time I would pace back towards the end of the house, there was just that what I thought was a telephone post would kind of move a little bit farther down to the left,
Oh, weird.
Right. So like it kind of caught me off guard, right? And I was like, every time I would pass, it would look in a different location than it was previous when I passed by. And when I finally noticed how far away it was from the first time that I saw it, that's when I stopped and started looking at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from where I was standing at the beginning of the driveway, and there was a carport, and this thing was past the carport, right? Past the yard. So I stopped and I looked at it, and from what I thought I saw was that this thing um, looked like a solid piece of wood, right? Of a telephone pole, but all of a sudden it kind of like moved it. It looked like it separated like arms from
Interesting.
from the mast, and then in the back of my mom's house, it's just like brush, man. Like there was just a bunch of brush. So there was just a bunch of brush, right? And like what I saw is that it kind of separated its arms and kind of just slowly went into the brush. And it kind of left me in kind of like in shock, I guess you can say, because that was like really something I'd never seen before, something
I think
physical where you
anybody
can hear,
has.
yeah, like something physical, like you can actually hear the steps and the rustling of all that brush back there. So it was
Yeah,
kind of like that tripped me out. It kind of left me in shock for a little bit.
that's crazy, man. How old were you when this happened?
Oh man, it was a while back, man. It was man, I want to say like 9 years ago, like 8 years ago.
Uh,
Yeah,
so you were an adult though.
yeah,
This
no,
wasn't like when you were a child.
no. There's plenty of things. I mean, I remember one of my first experiences with the paranormal was when I was a kid. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old.
Mhm,
Um, I was sleeping in my bed. I had a little twin size bed, right, as a kid.
mhm.
And back then we didn't have AC, like central air, you know what I mean? So we'll just leave the window open at night. And I wouldn't sleep. I would just sleep with the sheet, right? And I'll sleep, and every night I'll wake up where the sheet was at the end of the foot of the bed. Every night I'll wake up, go to the restroom, pick it up, right, and put it back on. I remember one time um, I had woken up and I could feel the sheet just slowly travel down my body, like it was being pulled from the legs, from the bottom of the bed.
Yeah.
So 7 or 8 year old me grabbed it, pulled it, and when I pulled, I felt something on the bottom of my bed just kind of like push, like push the mattress up a little bit.
Mhm.
And I jumped up. I was in my mom's room, like in 3 steps. Boom, 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 done. It was one of the creepiest shits I ever encountered.
Mhm.
But
That's
like
crazy, man.
ever since then, I always been kind of like sensitive to that kind of stuff. So like now it's nothing. It's nothing new to me now. You know what I mean? It's still kind of creepy. Don't get me wrong. It catches me off guard sometimes. But like now it's less. It's less scary. I guess you could say, or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Whatnot. Ooh, drink. Dude, when I was little, man, I saw a ghost. I looked like my grandpa, but like nobody believed me because my grandpa was still alive. So, you know, I guess it wasn't really him. But it's
Yeah,
true. Like, nah, that's a joke, guys. Um, so, anyways, Big Blue, what about you? You ever seen some kind of werewolf? That's what I had heard. You may have seen a werewolf at one time. You were telling us once. Let's hear about that story, sir.
A werewolf? I've never seen a
What's
werewolf,
that?
but a commercial. No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this story of when I was younger. Right, there was this old church that we used to go to as kids, right, and it was up in Wisconsin. Old church, but early 1900s. They used to have like a basement where they would have the breakfast for the kids and stuff. It was like a daycare, and then they had the school next door, but that's where the kitchen was. And it was run by nuns, right? But it was one of those days where like it was kind of gloomy outside and rainy, and I forgot my damn jacket. So like, yeah, you need to go get your jacket. And I left it on the table, way in the back, and they had her turned off the lights, man. And everybody had left.
First mistake.
Yeah, everybody had left already, so I turned on one light, and they only turned on the one in the front because all the other ones were in the back. So I remember walking to go get my jacket, but I remember hearing like kids crying in there, and there was nobody else in there but me. And I just like grabbed my jacket and I ran out of there, man. I was like one of them. I'm like,
what are you doing? You're running like a gazelle out the front door.
heck
That'd be
yeah.
great.
My friends are like, "What the hell are you running so fast for?" It's like, I heard somebody. You're like, you're the only one left in there. I was like, I know.
That's why I was running. Have y'all seen those videos where there's like something creepy, and then you like you turn on the light and there's something creepy there, or there's nothing there. You turn off the light and there's something creepy there, and then it keeps getting closer and closer. What would you do if you were in that situation? I mean,
Well, it depends, man. It depends. Like, if it's like a little kid, I'll punt the shit out of it. You know what I mean? But like, if it's a big ass monster, yeah, man, I'll be running. I'll jump out of a second story window. I don't have no problem with that. I've done it before.
You're gonna leave the light on?
I'll leave the light on and the Christian music or whatever music on. Christian rap.
Put it on K-Love.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Big Blue, what about you? What would you do? You turn on your light, you turn it off, and all of a sudden there's some creepy looking person out there in the corner of your room. You turn on the light, disappears. Turn it off, it's a little bit closer. What are you doing?
I'll just leave the light on.
And you're gonna just stay there?
Yeah, leave the light on.
He's like, I'm just gonna lay down, cover myself, and just leave the light on.
I think it's a little bit different, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, for me, as much as it happens to me, you get used to it to a certain point, you know what I mean, from seeing things. Right. But you never get used to it when you actually get like touched by something that's not there. You know what I mean? When you have that feeling of somebody like actually touching you or like whispering in your ear when there's nobody there. You know, that's when you know
Friday night.
Right. That's what like it's so unsettling, you know what I mean? Especially if you know you're alone.
Yeah.
So that's the craziest part about it.
And speaking of being touched, Jaime has some pictures that he wants to share with everyone. Now I'm gonna put out a trigger warning.
You know, don't mind
ladies, if you're you might want to cover your screen if you're out in public. You don't want anyone thinking.
Don't be close to your husbands, please. I don't need that drama in my life right now.
You guys have been warned.
Well, I remember I told y'all about the one when I would visit my mom's house to go feed the dogs and water her plants when they were out of town, and I got a handprint on my shoulder. That's the one, right? Then I remember coming home and my girl at the time, as soon as I took off my shirt, she told me, like, "What the hell is that on your shoulder?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Anyways, it took like 2.5 days, 2 to 3 days for it to like actually like disappear, right? Mm-hmm. It disappeared, and you know, a couple of days later, I go back. You know, I would go back every day to feed the dogs and whatever, but like maybe like 3 or 4 days later, I went back and I took off my shirt and I checked again, and sure enough, I had another handprint. I had a handprint on my back. And I took a picture of it. It's not as easy to see, but you can see it. And these are on 2 different occasions. You know what I mean?
You're not sure that you did a really good job at work and someone gave you a really good pat on the back?
Nah, not at all. I don't do good work.
I don't do good work.
I don't do good. I'm not that kind of person, man. What's it called? But like, it's kind of faded. It's not as the imprint is not as red as the other one, but that one, it did take a little bit less time for it to disappear. And it's just weird because like at my mom's house, man, it's like crazy, crazy. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that. It's really active with paranormal stuff when I'm there. You know, when I'm not there, like my parents, they rarely hear anything or see anything, rarely. But when I'm there, that's when it starts picking up. And it's like in that house, I would hear footsteps in the middle of the night in the kitchen. Uh, as a kid, I would look under the door, and there would be a crack on the door, right, from the floor to the door, and I remember I'll be like, I can listen, I can see, I can hear like kids just running around, like two or three kids just talking and playing around in the in the kitchen and the dining room area. And I remember looking under there and seeing shadows, man, and that's like one of the scariest things too. Like that just trips me out, seeing shadows run around. And it's like, and I remember telling my mom, I was like, you don't hear stuff? It's like, oh, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. It's just I don't pay much attention to it anymore.
You know what we need to do?
Hmm.
We need to dress you up like Kevin Bacon, and then hypnotize you and put a needle in your arm. Now, I don't know why that works, but I saw that in Wall of Echoes or something like that. Stir of Echoes. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have. I thought you were gonna dress me up when he was dressed up in Tremors. I was like, yeah, that's not bad. I understand.
Nah, man. What was it? Stir of Echoes? Is that what that movie was called? That if you guys aren't familiar, Stir of Echoes is a movie where Kevin Bacon gets hypnotized, and when he wakes up, apparently there was like this big old needle in his arm, and after that they open up some sort of sixth sense, and he's like sensitive to paranormal. Would you ever consider doing something like that, knowing that could be the result of the hypnotism?
Like me?
Yeah.
I don't think I need none of that, man.
It could be more clear.
So I think for me, what I think is that since I'm sensitive, things like that happen to me because they know that I can, actually see or feel or sense them. You know what I mean? I think that's why.
Dude, we got to do a haunted house, like
Yeah,
a
no,
real
for
one.
sure. Oh, I sent you a picture of an old picture that I just sent you earlier. I want you to put it up and see if they can see something. I saw instead of that face coming out of the table. I wonder if the people on the chat can see something different in that picture.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
All
Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm. Let me know if you see anything different.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
That's the scariest photo I've seen all night.
You take that back, Big Blue. Good stuff.
But
did that email come through?
Oh yeah, let me check. I gotta actually open up an email. All right.
I haven't checked the email.
No, I'll tell you one that. I mean, it wasn't a ghost, man, but I was pretty spooked.
It was just a crackhead.
No, I was just pretty spooked out, man. So I was fishing one night, right? I love night fishing. Catfish, gar, reds at night it's pretty nice. And I was fishing this pier, and I was at the end of the pier, and it was probably like 2 or 3 in the morning. Everybody had left, and I was the last one on the pier. I hadn't finished my beers yet, so I'm still finishing the 6-pack I took. And then I just heard these sounds of these huge wings, and I was like, "What the heck's that noise?" You know what I mean? So I had never heard wings that loud, like flapping around, and they were flapping around my head, right? And I had my lantern. So I turned my lantern on and I started looking up in the air, and I started looking up there. And then eventually, like halfway down the pier, this big old bird lands on it, man. And I've never seen birds like that in Del Rio. Like I've seen them like at the coast. They're like a big old stork.
Yeah.
But He just stopped right there and just kept staring at me like for like good 5-10 minutes. Just kept turning his head towards me and then turned back around. Maybe I was wondering if I was gonna catch some fish and give it to him or something. But yeah, man, like after that, I once it took off of me, it took off, you can hear those wings just flapping. I grabbed
Dude,
all my stuff and I took off, and I was done. I was like, I'm out of here.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Um, this was back in the day when I was when I was an officer. We had gotten some reports of like some, what was it? Kids or whatever were tagging up the park, right? And so they asked us to go out there throughout the night. And I was working at the time. We were working 12-hour shifts, and Sunday night was just one of those boring nights. So I went out to that park, and it's a pretty good sized park. And I called out saying I was going to do a walkthrough because I was pretty tired, man. When you work a 12-hour shift on Friday night and it's usually kind of busy, then you got a 12-hour shift on Saturday night, it's pretty busy, and then Sunday, sometimes it's dead, and you're like exhausted from the entire weekend, and you're working 36 hours in 3 days. It gets exhausting, and so one night it was about 3, 4 in the morning. I decided that I'm going to go and do this walkthrough through the park. And I go down this trail, and it's heading towards the river. And as I'm walking, I hear like this weird ass laugh. It sounds kind of like maybe like the Joker. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of, like a high pitched laugh. And I shine my light over to where I heard it, and it's like in the middle of the river, and there was like these bamboo and like long ass grass type vegetation that was coming out of the river. And I can kind of see it moving, like the grass or whatever, but I can't see anything in it. And I don't know if it's in there or if it's behind it on the other side of the river. And so I yell out, "Is somebody there?" And then all of a sudden, like, I just see this thing stand up, and it was probably about the size of a person, and just big ass wings, and just took off. It landed on it flew up, and then it landed on the railroad tracks. There was a little bridge that was going over, and then it flew off and took off away. This is the weirdest shit.
That's funny, man, because I have something similar happen to me. Obviously, back in the day when we used to hang out, we used to go back home like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, right? And for me, like, I will buy something to eat and go home. And I remember one of these days it was like super dark, and like one of the lights from the roads where I usually go through is right next to the railroad tracks. And I was driving, and my headlights ended up hitting the railroad tracks. And on the railroad tracks, I saw what looked to me like a between 3.5 to 4 foot bird, black bird, just standing on the railroad tracks. And when I shined the light on it, it wasn't like, how you see the crows and you shine the light, you can almost see the reflection of the feathers.
Yeah.
This is just like straight black, like no reflection coming off this. And it was super big, and it was turned away from me, so I couldn't see the front of it, like the features of it. I just saw the back part of it, and it was super crazy because literally like a couple of maybe like two, maybe a block and a half from there's an empty house that was abandoned, and it's super creepy. And I was wanting to go through there and check it out, but after seeing that damn whatever that bird was, probably a lechuza. Like I never had the guts to go there.
Hey, explain everybody real quick before we get into these pictures what a lechuza is. I'm gonna go get another drink. I'm going through these like crazy. I should just bring it over here, right? I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, from what I know, I don't know. Maybe you heard something different, Blue. But from what I know, from what I heard, is that lechuza is is a witch that turns into a bird, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, supposedly it's like a witch that turns into like a white owl. It's always white in most folk stories, but yeah.
Yeah, and like so, this is what I heard that they usually take kids, right? They take kids if you like newborns or pretty young kids. If you leave the windows open, right, they'll come in there and grab it and take off, right? Because they need like blood of an innocent child, right?
Yeah.
And they make witchcraft with that, with the blood. And but like for me, it's like it's when I saw that, that's exactly that's to me that's what I thought I saw on the railroad tracks is a lechuza. But for me, it was just super dark figure, man. It almost looked like
Yeah.
a person with a trench coat on.
Well, that's what I mean. The one that I saw at the lake was the same thing, dude. Like I've seen storks, I've seen cranes, and they're normally white or a little bit more pinkish. This thing was like dark brown, you know what I mean? Like blackish, and the wings just opened up, and it was a big old wingspan. I was like,
Yeah,
and I've been to the lake a bunch of times at night, and I've never seen any birds at night. You know what I mean?
hmm
And it wasn't an owl, because I seen the owls around the river, or an eagle. This thing
yeah,
was huge. I was like, man, and it just like kept staring at me, and I was like slowly relaying my rods and getting all my stuff together, and I'm like, and once I took off, I gunned it to my car, man, and because
yeah.
I was the
Like
only one out there, man. It's
my grandpa told me a story when he was out and about. He used to take care of this ranch, right? And he's out in the country, right? And like there's no neighbors for miles. It's a
yeah,
big ranch with a lot of acres, and they used to have a lot of problems with. This is way back in the like early, like late '70s. They used to have problems with people going through their yard, I mean, through their ranch.
ranch,
Illegals going through the ranch, and making a mess. Like building, leaving trash and stuff. So I remember he said that he told me one. He said that he was out and about with one of his buddies out in the ranch. That across from the hill that we're at, there was another hill. It was like a little valley in the hill, and on that hill they used to see lights. And but he thought they were fire, right? Like, oh, there's somebody out there building a fire, right?
Mhm.
So what he did is that they went out in the truck, close to it, and they started yelling and they started whistling, like so they could scare him off, kind of. And he said that as soon as he started whistling, that these lights like turn off, right? And what happened is that he said that they turned off, and like a couple of seconds later, they looked like they were getting closer, and they would turn off, and they would get closer, and then before you knew it, the lights were maybe like 400 or 500 feet above them, and they were kind of moving in different directions to the point where they got scared to jump into the truck and they booked it, and then they never went back there until the next. Well, they went back there maybe like 2 or 3 days later, and they never saw what's it called, any evidence of somebody being there building a fire. So
Hmm.
they think that these lights weren't like lights; they were actually like someone's or the witches or a witch or a bird's eyeballs that were kind of glowing with the light they were emitting
yeah,
from their headlights.
That's crazy. Um, we got a couple of pictures from one of our viewers, so that they had a ghostly encounter here at the Overland Hotel and Saloon. And by the way, guys, if any of you guys know of or own or are friends with somebody that owns something that it could possibly be known to be haunted, and you want us to check it out, let us know. Email us at drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
Set us up with the information. We would love to go out there, do maybe a 1-2 night stay out there, get some cameras going. I'll get the night vision cameras. I'll get some EVP recorders, and we'll go out there and check it out and see if there's anything to it.
If you take me, I guarantee you something's gonna happen.
Then let's do it, man.
I guarantee you, man.
So Nina says, we were the only ones who stayed there. I saw him out on the corner of my eye. My friend and I were taking pictures, and this is what we saw when we got him. This image here.
Is this a hallway? Is this what it is?
That's what it looks like. I mean, you have these
kind of like a chandelier kind of thing.
Yeah, you have the chandelier here, chandelier there.
But damn, that's not see through at all, man. That's blacked out.
Is this a picture of a screen? right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's go down. It's one of those like it's like a GoPro, right? That's what it is.
I think so.
Yeah, that looks like a GoPro. That's not see through at all, man. That looks solid.
Yeah, well, I mean, could be a shadow person.
Yeah, like even the one that I took in my apartment, it kind of had like see through on the shoulder side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like solid from right here, but towards its shoulder was you can see the
Pretty
door
see-through.
the door frame behind it.
Yeah. And there
Oh,
does look like there's a pretty bright. Oh, we had to line it up. Gotcha. That's crazy, man.
what's the story? Like, is there someone who passed there?
No, she said that they were the only ones staying at this hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw him out of the corner of their eye, of her eyes. But her friend and her were taking pictures, and this is what they saw when they got home.
That's creepy.
Kind of looks like a. Kind of looks like an old school hat. You know what I mean, with a big old coat.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like maybe something from the, just from the outline, almost 20s apparel, 30s, somewhere around there. What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of like the top part of that where you said the headgear almost looks like Donald Trump's hair, right? Right.
It could be it could be like my ghost story. I saw a ghost of someone who wasn't who hadn't passed yet. Who still, was very healthy at the time.
Yeah. No, like I believe that the more, like, less transparent they are, the stronger the spirit is. That's what I see. Like, the stronger they can make themselves, or darker they can make themselves, is for me. It
The
seems
stronger?
like the stronger they are, or you know what I mean. Instead of like being transparent.
Right. Why do you think like, if this is real, then why do you think that this ghost or any other ghost stays behind, doesn't move on?
I feel like every ghost that's out there is probably like part of their like purgatory. You know what I mean? They're like waiting. I feel like some of these ghosts also stay behind because they don't know they're dead. That they were killed or they died suddenly.
Sixth Sense style?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they don't know they're dead, and they're just living this continuous loop,
Right.
and it's like a residual haunting where they just stay and they just keep on. You always see them in almost the same spot every time.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Big Blue gonna play Haley Amsent's, role in Sixth Sense, the little boy that sees dead people?
I hope so. I hope
Is that
so.
Big Blue's role in this? He's the little boy that.
That's creepy though, man. This is creepy.
The only problem is who's gonna pay Bruce Willis?
Oh man.
Don't talk about Bruce Willis right now, man. That guy's having trouble, man.
I know.
That guy's in a lot of trouble, unfortunately.
Poor Bruce.
Why?
believe,
What happened to him?
I think he's dementia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You made it seem like legal trouble. I was like, whoa, what happened?
That's the least of his problems right now.
He's nonverbal now.
Isn't that the same thing going on with Thor? I can't remember his the actor that plays Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, doesn't he have like some sort of dementia that's going on too?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think that's why he took a step back.
I'll tell you a story about the Tusa. Okay. I lived in Wisconsin, and I know over there they have some owls. I think they're called great white owls or whatever. Somebody's gonna have to correct me on that. But they're beautiful owls, man. I've seen them during the day, white feathers and everything. But when you grow up as a Hispanic and you get told that the Chusa comes out, the white owl, we used to go play with our friends in town, right? And to get to the town was about 2 blocks, maybe three, and it was through a cornfield on one side and a river on the other side. And there's just a road, and then the town was at the end of that.
How old were you?
Probably like 13 or 12.
Okay.
And I remember I would go sometimes play video games at my friend's house or my cousin's house, and then I would have to walk home like at 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night. And it was already dark by then, especially in the fall time. It was already dark, and you're walking through these. You see the cornfield, the wind blowing at night, and everything's moving around. It's scary as shit. And then there's no street lights, man. It's just you can see the light from the end of the city, and then you can see the light from where we lived. It was probably like 2 blocks down. So it was like I would always run or bike. If I had my bike, I would bike as fast as I could. But there'd be times when I would be biking or walking, and at the end of our street where our neighborhood started, there was always 2 white owls up there, man, just waiting for people to come around the corner, and you can just hear them howling, hooting, or whatever they call that night. That would freak the crap out of us, man. We'd run home until we see that.
No, I never. Well, for me, I always thought, no, the choosers were, to me, they were described as being black.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I told this story, but like a long time ago, or really long time, I was probably like 19, I believe. I actually went to a girlfriend's house, and I had just come back. I had just come back from Fort Hood, right? I drove back from Fort Hood back to my hometown, and I was tired right from the drive. So I went to her house, and she was outside, and I don't know what she was doing, but anyways, I ended up sitting on the rocking chair. Her rocking chair was one of those swings, the one with the canopy on top.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting there like around 9, and she sat right next to me. I fell asleep on her lap, dude, and she fell asleep. Man, we woke up like around 11:15, I want to say, and we woke up to a lot of dogs barking, right? And in front of her house, they had a huge pecan trees, right? Huge, all around that little part of the town. They have pecans trees everywhere, and those things are huge, and the branches are pretty massive and stuff. And I remember we woke up to all the dogs barking, and then we hear from catty corner to the house, catty corner to her house, we hear a branch break, hit not the sidewalk, but the driveway of that house. And how I can explain it is, I heard scratching, like something hit besides the branch, something hit the driveway that sounded like they dropped a bowling ball, like really, 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 really heavy. And then we heard all this scratching, and kind of like, you ever heard the Jurassic Park, those the raptors, those noises they make?
Yeah.
Something like that, man.
I make those at night.
And like it was weird, because like all these dogs were barking, but as soon as I started making that noise, no dog was barking. Like it was quiet. It was the weirdest thing. So I got up and I ran because I wanted to see what the hell it was, And I get there, and all I can see is just a huge branch just sitting there, broken in pieces. Didn't see anything else.
The one time there was a mountain lion that was loose in the city, and they called us to go out there and hunt it down or whatever. And I remember I was walking with a partner of mine down the alley, and my buddy tells me, I know this neighborhood, I know this street. There's always a bunch of dogs barking down this road or down this alley. And I'm like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't hear anything. And he's like, I know. That's why I'm scared. And sure enough, man, we ended up finding it probably like, I didn't find it. Like, we had a crap ton of, officers and sheriff and game wardens and a bunch of law enforcement out looking for it. We found it like maybe 3 blocks away. It ended up finding its way into a school. But fortunately, this was while school was out. So, yeah, I ended up having to dispatch it out there.
No, yeah, I was actually there when they shot it.
Well,
Yeah, I had dropped off my kids at my mom's. My kids wanted to stay at the grandma's, and I was like, all right, well, just drop them off whenever you have a chance. I was like, okay. So they were dropping them off, and I'm getting my kids out of the car, and you see this mountain lion just being like down the street, and the cops behind it. They ended up shooting it in front of the high school, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we're such good parents, we jumped into the truck and we followed it as well, and we almost got shot while we're at it.
Other than you stood in like the direction of the
Towards downrange. Nah, yeah, we actually saw them shoot it, and that thing, I think it was a female. I believe it was a female, and the paws were like huge, man. It's crazy.
the one that I had heard about, or the one that we were working with, were two males that were coming into town, and they were worried because they were adolescent males. But I don't know if that was the same one that, because this was over there by the it was the 6th grade when we were in school.
No, this was the high school, right in front of the high school, and that empty lot in front of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's happened a few times where there's.
I mean, there's also been bears there.
Huh.
Yeah, there was a bear in front of the Lamar.
A bear in front of. Oh yeah, dude. All right, so we got some videos from my friend here. I'm gonna pull them up, and we're gonna watch these two. All right, Big Blue, don't get scared. All right, if you need anybody to hold your hand, just let us know.
Oh, that's a ghost. Oh man.
I'm turning up the volume. All right. I haven't seen it yet, so I hope there's not a jump scare or anything. Let's pay attention real close, just in case. It sounds like things are being moved. I was totally expecting to see a shadow pass right behind there. Just the knocking. All right, I'm all. I'm looking for shadow people, and my heart's all pounding.
I remember recording. Also, I used one of these old school MP3 players. They had recording on it. You can actually record stuff with it. And I remember, I remember leaving it in the kitchen at one of these a duplex that I used to live in. And, and sure enough, you can hear. I heard a lot of things going on during the night that didn't make any sense. You can hear the doorknob kind of jiggling, the plates being moved, and also like it what had happened, it recorded throughout the night. So like in the morning when we woke up, I woke up, and from where I was, the bedroom's at, you can see straight into the kitchen, and towards the end of at the corner of the kitchen, there was a TV, a small TV that I used to have there back in the days. So the bigger ones with the back part to it. And I woke up and I looked in that direction, and the TV turned on, and the volume just all the way to the max.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? So like after that happened, that's when I left the recorder on during the night, and sure enough, you could hear the dishes kind of being moved, or a couple of plates, the door jiggling in the middle of the night, a chair kind of moving around, knocking.
What do you think they want from you?
Uh, I believe from what I heard that someone died in the on the next door neighbor house or the duplex. Someone
Mhm.
had passed away. I believe I think they took their own life, and I think that might have been something that might, would have been causing that kind of disturbance there.
Yeah,
Well,
it could have been.
yeah, I'm telling you, man. If we go anywhere, you'll start hearing things.
Hmm. Yeah, there's another 12-second video. I heard some in the beginning,
Hmm.
but interesting. Yeah, man. I don't know if like I've heard some weird stuff. I've seen what possibly could be a shadow or two or whatever. But if I saw anything concrete, I think my ass would be out of here. um, real quick. Now, one last thing that I wanted to discuss before we call it a show is let me pull it up, and this is going to be a conspiracy that's going on,
Cool.
and it happens to do with. Oh, let me see. All right, the Idaho case. Bum, bum, bum.
Uh-oh.
So this was brought up to my attention earlier that some folks think that this truck that was seen passing by at around 3 a.m. perhaps had something to do with the murders. Let's take a pretty good look at this truck.
Hmm.
Anything that you guys noticed from it?
This looks like a diesel. It's
That's what I
lifted.
thought too. I don't know about lifted, but it looks like it's 4x4, like with a natural 4x4 lift.
Yeah, it's not
It's a
stock. I'll
single,
tell you that.
it's a single cab.
Single cab. Yeah, I was gonna say the cab doesn't look very big either.
It's a
Hmm.
single cab extended with an 8-foot box, probably. And it's red if it glares off the taillights.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's not even black.
Mm-mm.
Man, we're already debunking this. So this is the truck that has been suspected of being the vehicle that is there. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about this vehicle is definitely lifted. And let's see, Dylan's a pretty tall person, right? Wouldn't you guys say? She was like almost what 5'10" or so.
Yeah,
Look,
that's pretty
look,
tall.
yeah, look at how high that truck goes to where she is, right?
Hmm.
You can see the bed of that truck as well in the background.
Hmm.
Oh, wrong way. The bed of this truck is just higher than this vehicle. Dylan would be towering over this vehicle. So this truck is not as tall as the truck that's in that picture.
It also doesn't have no side markers on the mirrors.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true. That is
yeah.
100% true.
And the other one
Man,
does, yeah.
we're
And then
debunking
this one's
this.
got a chrome. This one's got a chrome bumper because the light's reflecting off of it. It ain't black.
That's true. This looks like a red truck, probably dark red truck with a chrome black or chrome bumper.
Go back to the other one.
Single cab with a possibly a toolbox in the back of it. Wrong way again. There you go. And yeah, you're right. There, you would be able to see the side marker that's right there on the
Yeah,
on the.
and the headlights don't match at all. Especially those headlights. They that truck that you see is like a 90 something Ford, probably.
They did wrap
Yeah,
around a little bit
because
more.
Yeah.
they do. They come across on the outside of the bumper.
And then the rear
Man,
lights not even at all. That's like definitely 90 style because the rear lights wrap around the side of the column.
Hmm. Yeah, that one doesn't
yeah,
seem as new as this one. For
yeah.
sure.
And you're absolutely man. You guys are pointing out things I didn't even see. Like the headlights don't wrap around the bumper. The light on the rearview mirror. Yeah, I noticed the height of the vehicle as being one of the things that kind of popped off to me.
Yeah, this was a
The
lot
ex-
hard. This was a lot higher than the other one in the other picture.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So let me put the big old stamp of debunked on this one.
Douche.
So There it is, guys. If anybody tells you guys that this vehicle here belongs to Dylan's boyfriend, you guys know for a fact that that is not true. There are so many, differences between this truck and Dylan's boyfriend's truck that it's not even anywhere near similar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we could debunk that. I mean, that one went quick. We should probably get more of these. Like, like this is somebody. Could y'all, debunk this?
Right.
It seemed to have gone off pretty quick.
We need that little stamp thing. You can never whenever.
Stand.
Oh yeah.
Busted. Myth busted. Well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. We've gone through everything, including busting one of the biggest myths in Idaho that's been going around. Big Blue, Jaime, y'all got final words for everybody?
Stay safe. Don't piss off any ghosts. Try not to get abducted, please. And Blue likes eating his sausage whole.
I like my schnitzel. Okay.
All right, Big Blue, send us out. Nothing sad, my man.
Alrighty. Just want to say, y'all be safe out there. If y'all want to try out Warfest and try some sausage and schnitzel, I believe it's until the end of this week. I think it's 11 or 14-day event. During the week, it's free. It's a little pricey, so if you take some kids, I would take a couple hundos.
Nice. That's expensive. I'll leave it with this. Big Blue, do you want some sauce?